In the research and development of the active pharmaceutical ingredient or drug substance and the drug product, there are different stages. So, the development for the pharmaceuticals start from the research and development phase, prototype finalization of the formulation and the process. Also, if you consider the API, it will involve synthesis, route of synthesis, stability at lab scale, and then once the prototype is finalized, it goes to the next stage of the scale up. And after successful scale up, the product goes to the next stage, that is exhibit batches. Exhibit batches are also called as PV batches, process validation batches. And exhibit batches are required to demonstrate that the product can be manufactured with reproducibility, the process and the product is robust, and it meets the quality parameters. It serves as a basis to file the product to the regulatory authorities and then ask for the approval of commercial manufacturing. This is brief idea about the product development stages. I welcome all of you to the video on exhibit batches. In this video, only the exhibit batches stage we will consider. This video is regarding the understanding for EB batches purpose, key characteristics and the regulatory requirements. So what are the EB batches or exhibit batches? Exhibit batches are manufactured at the commercial scale equipments at commercial facility to validate that the drug product or the API can be consistently produced as per the approved specifications. And these EB batches are crucial for regulatory approval and the commercialization. EB batches or PV batches are required to be manufactured at the commercial site with strict CGMP requirements. What is the purpose of exhibit batch or exhibit batches? 3 exhibit batches are required to demonstrate the reproducibility and robustness of the formulation and the manufacturing process. So it is required for regulatory submission. If you are working onto the generic formulation or if you are working onto the novel formulation, that may be the NDA, the exhibit batches are required. So exhibit batches required for NDA, ANDA or DMF. DMF is regarding the API. So these submissions to the regulatory authorities like it may be FDA, EMA, ANVISA and DCGI for India. So regulatory submission requires demonstration of the robustness of the product and the process through the manufacturing of minimum 3 exhibit batches. Process validation. It ensures the manufacturing process is robust, reproducible and compliant to the GMP. Stability studies. It determines the shelf life and appropriate storage conditions. All the exhibit batches are required to be loaded on stability in the proposed marketing pack, and this stability data is provided to the regulatory authority for the stability evaluation and expiry date approval. Bioequivalence studies. So these exhibit batches are used in BE studies for generic drug approvals when required. One of the exhibit batch is tested for the bioequivalence. Then the technology transfer. First commercial scale production after transferring from R&D to manufacturing. So technology transfer involves the transfer of the knowledge transfer of the know-how of the product, manufacturing technology to the commercial site, and it is done through scale-up batch manufacturing and exhibit batch manufacturing. Now, what are the key characteristics of the exhibit batches? These are produced at the commercial scale. There are certain requirements for the batch size, number of batches for the exhibit batches. The exhibit batch size should be 10% minimum of the commercial batch scale, or as per the regulatory requirements 1 lakh units and 1 lakh pack units should be there. For different formulations, different batch sizes are there. Also, you can justify the batch size based on to the molecule class, like orphan drug or anti-cancer or cytotoxic. So based on that you can justify also. But generally for 1 lakh batch size, around 1.2 lakh tablets or 1.5 lakhs tablets batch size is taken. This is the example I am giving for tablets. You can consider this for other formulations also, like tablets, capsules. For liquids you can have around 100 liter of the batch. So depends on to the formulation. Then exhibit batches are required to be manufactured under GMP conditions, and these are tested for all the quality attributes, that is CQAs. The CQAs like physical will involve the physical characteristics, chemical characteristics, microbiological characteristics. These are tested for acid dissolution, impurity levels, uniformity, and all the other tests which are required to demonstrate the quality. 3 consecutive batches are typically required for the process validation. So the number of exhibit batches are 3. If your product is like tablet or capsule and having number of strengths, then you need to take 3 batches of each strength. There are certain exemptions also, like 2 big scale and 2 pilot scale or 1 small scale batch can be taken. But generally in the pharmaceutical industry, all the 3 batches are of same size and are required to have the robustness to prove the process validation. Regulatory requirements for the exhibit batches, like for US FDA, submission of the exhibit batch data is required for ANDA and NDA approval. For Europe, exhibit batch data is included in marketing authorization application, that is MAA application. Exhibit batches are an essential step in drug development and commercialization. So these are also called as the pivotal batches. And the bioequivalence study on exhibit batches are called as pivotal bioequivalence studies. These batches ensure regulatory compliance, manufacturing consistency, and product stability. Meeting the EB batch requirement is critical for gaining the approval from the regulatory authorities to market the products. I have made other videos on exhibit batches, so you can go through the playlist of this channel. You can get the videos on batch size for stability testing, exhibit batches, and process validation. Then you will also know the answer of why 3 batches are required for process validation or why 3 exhibit batches are needed. You can visit this channel for understanding of the many of the pharmaceutical industry related topics. I hope this video has given you idea regarding the exhibit batches. If you have any queries or questions, you can mail me, and also you can comment. I will try to give you the right answer. Thank you for watching the video.